If you have under $1,000 and you're looking for a Prebuilt PC, then you came to the right place. I will show you 4 different systems for 4 different budgets, the cheapest one being $560 and the most expensive one being just around $1,000. So if your budget is between those ranges, then you want to watch this video until the end, because I will also explain what these PCs are capable of running and whether or not it's worth the buy for you. You will have all the links to these PCs down below in the video description, and if you're looking for a PC build, you will have my website. That being said, let's start. With the first system, we have the Pavilion from Amazon. This one comes with the RX 5500 for the GPU and the Ryzen 3 5300G for the processor. Like I said, this one is $560 and it also comes with 8 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of SSD. If you don't know anything about computers, basically it's a really decent 1080p gaming PC. So if you're looking to play games like Minecraft, Valorant, CSGO, GTA 5 at 1080p, high settings, 60 plus FPS on average, this one is the one to go with. But even for the esports titles that I mentioned, like CSGO, you will be able to achieve more than 144 FPS on average. So if you're looking for a high refresh rate 144Hz monitor, feel free to buy one. The only reason I wouldn't buy this system is if you want to go for a 1440p monitor or you want to play the highest demanding titles like Flight Simulator. Also, if you want to run every single game at 1080p ultra settings, 60 plus FPS on average, this is not the PC to go with. Then for $790 we have the HP PicTools 15L from their website. Now what I want you to do is click on customize and buy, change the GPU to the GTX 1660 Super and the primary storage to 512 gigs of SSD. You don't want to buy this system with the standard components and the RX 6400. The reason being is because the GTX 1660 Super is going to give you that huge upgrade compared to the last HP Pavilion desktop. With the 1660 Super and the Ryzen 5 5600G, there will be no game that you can't run at 1080p high settings. So like I said before, if you wanted to play every single game 1080p ultra settings, 60 plus FPS on average, this one is getting closer to that. Now for esports titles, there are even some games that you can run at above 240 FPS if you're trying to go for that 240Hz monitor. I'm talking about games like Valorant and CSGO once again. Then for titles like GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2, these will be games that you will be able to run above 80 plus FPS on average on high settings. And if you want to upgrade your RAM, feel free to do so, you will be getting extra performance from doing that. Now it's going to be more expensive, and if you upgrade the RAM as well, the PC itself is going to be $850 and I wouldn't upgrade anything more before moving on to the next PC. But that will be the max upgrade, being 16 gigs of RAM, 500 gigs of SSD and the GTX 1660 Super. If you don't have the budget to go even to $780, don't upgrade the storage, you can upgrade this down the line for not a lot of money, and then the total price will be around $720 and you get the GTX 1660 Super, but be aware you will have 256 gigs of storage. Now with the next one we have a $900 system, so if you decided to upgrade everything on the last PC, should be around $850. And the reason why I told you not to keep upgrading, because it will be more expensive than this PC and at that point it wouldn't be worth it. We are talking about the Skytech Azure from their website. This one comes with the i5-12400F and the RTX 2060 for the graphics card. The RTX 2060 is a bit better in terms of performance than the GTX 1660 Super, and you also get 500 gigs of SSD here. So you get more RAM, 16 gigs of RAM, you get a higher wattage power supply, a 650 watt 80 plus power supply, and overall this PC is more upgradable. So here you're spending the premium for upgradability and also a bit more of gaming performance that is not really going to be that noticeable, but it's a nice to have. With this system you will be able to achieve basically the same as the last PC, 1080p high settings without any issue, and even below the website you can see that you can run Cyberpunk 2077, which is a really high demanding game running at 75 FPS on average at 1080p high settings. So if you just want to plug and play and save up some money, go with the PicTools 15L. However, if you want something that's more upgradable and you're willing to pay the premium, then go with the Skytech one. And last but definitely not least, we are talking about the best one on the list for just $1,000. We are talking about the Victus 15L, but this is a different model and is much better than any of the other PCs that I've mentioned. The reason being is because you get the RX 6600 XT, which is not only a high FPS 1080p GPU, but you can also play at 1440p. So if you are looking for a 1440p monitor, I would definitely start with this system instead of any of the last ones mentioned. The GPU is going to be much better than the RTX 2060 and the GTX 1660 Super, let alone the RX 5500. Here you get 16 gigs of RAM, 1TB of hard drive and 500 gigs of SSD, so no need for an upgrade here, and you also get the Ryzen 7 5700G for the CPU. If you don't know anything about components, like I was saying, not only you will be able to play every single game at 1080p high FPS, but also on the highest settings. So yeah, this is in my opinion one of the best PCs available for both 1080p and 1440p gaming considering the price. I've tested one of these PCs myself, so if you're interested on seeing how a Victus 15L performs in different titles and also the thermals and everything else, you will have my full review about it in the top right of the screen. And if you have any questions about these Prebuilt PCs or just any Prebuilt PC on the market or even a PC build, let me know in the comment section. I will reply as fast as possible by helping you out. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support, and I will see you on the next one.